Harar Mahadev. Welcome, dearly beloved, to Yang Yin 1222 Twinflame Ascension channel. My name is Kanupriya, and if you are new here, I'm happy to welcome you today. Today, we are going to talk about the greatest quality of the feminine, which is surrender. For the feminine principle, the quality of surrender is one that invites us to release with love, to let go. But unfortunately, due to many misconceptions and misunderstandings, it is understood as giving up or quitting, which is not what surrender means. Surrender does not mean that you give up on something or someone where you no longer want to look towards it, because there is an underlying vein of non-acceptance and deep unworthiness when someone quits or gives up. So when we talk about divine feminine and her divine quality of surrender, we are not talking about giving up on your divine counterpart or on your journey that you are on. We are not here to quit. And surrender simply means to stop resisting what is being shown. Surrender means to submit, and its opposite is to resist. So here you can infer from your own experiences of this journey that whenever your counterpart is showing resistance of any kind, this might be resistance to accept this connection, to accept this love, this beautiful bond that they feel with you, or it might be the resistance to their own vulnerability, their emotional space and their own feelings. It may be the resistance to share information verbally or otherwise, or to communicate in a healthy and a positive way. It might be the resistance to open up space wherein they might be blocking or ignoring you on various social media platforms. Doesn't have to be, but it is for some, and these are some common examples that I'm speaking of. Not everyone has this, but these are certain common experiences of how the counterpart might resist you and this connection. And immediately you have known that it brings up pain, hurt and fear in you, and what this is basically showing is that there is an area of inner work. These are the areas where we are being called to give up control and submit to the situation, to let go and to let God. These are one of my favorite lines: to let go and to let God. Letting go does not mean letting go of your divine counterpart, because your divine counterpart is your twin soul, right? How can one let go of oneself? They are you, they are your sacred mirrors, your purest reflection. It is not possible to do so, and one must not let go of oneself, because that will lead to dispassion. It leads to feeling lost in a very deep and a dark space. Letting go also does not mean giving up on your own timeline and just believing that it will never happen and you no longer want it to happen, because deep down you do want it to happen. It is the humble acceptance of the fact that you do want for union to take place in the physical reality, just as both of you are already merged at source in the highest dimension. You do want it. It is your soul's purest desire, and it is the very purpose of your incarnation for both of you, not just one, to achieve union. And so, if you are letting go of yourself, I don't want this, I don't want this person, I don't want this behavior, I don't want this treatment, I don't deserve this, I don't like what is being shown to me, you let go of the other person. But in giving up on the other person, you are in fact giving up on a certain aspect within yourself. You are rejecting a part which is asking for your own love, your God, right? Because your person in you, they are mirroring that aspect of you that is still in resistance. So whenever your person is shutting you away or turning back or running away, or they are unwilling to come forward and communicate honestly, they might be unwilling to take up responsibility for their actions, unwilling to show up and claim commitment, it is simply showing you, depending upon where you are on your journey and depending upon your current dynamic that you share in the connection, It is simply showing you where you need to allow more surrender into your life. There can always be more surrender. There is always more room for surrender. Trust me when I say this, as it is the very essence of the pure feminine. Not just the physical embodiment of the feminine, but it is the essence of the divine feminine principle, the Devi Shakti, which is present in one and all. Surrender is a beautiful divine quality of releasing the need to control, the need to drive outcomes. And so surrendering on this journey does not mean giving up on your twin, but simply giving up on the expectations that are attached. The expectations of a particular set outcome, of how things should be, of how things must be, of how a particular future should look for you. It is to be more accepting and welcoming of what life is bringing to us, choosing to be the observer, choosing to view things from a neutral state. Neutrality or the neutral state is nothing but non-preference to pleasure or pain. But here you might counter-question me and ask, but how can one become balanced and not allow pain or pleasure to affect our state? Because it is a given. It is the self-knowledge here that comes to our rescue. It is a self-knowledge that only the mind chooses pleasure over pain. And you are beyond the mind. When you begin to observe thought, you are the awareness that is witnessing the thought, and thus you are not the mind, you are beyond it. Through acceptance, we become more patient of not only of ourselves, but of others as well. When you choose to see the divine in one and all, divine is all there is. There is nothing except divine. Nothing is missing, nothing is out of place, nothing is imperfect. It is all aligned. It is all moving forward in a beautiful, harmonious orchestration. It is only when we grasp and cling onto our thoughts and people and things and emotions and situations, we create suffering for ourselves. We create suffering for ourselves and for others as well. So, in essence, there is nothing to be obsessed over. Letting go brings about an immense rush of peace and serenity. You are not driving things to a certain direction, right? Things that we cannot control must not be fussed over, because that creates a lower state of helplessness and hopelessness. It brings us to a very deep, dark state of despondency. When things are out of hand. When things are out of hand, they are already being taken care of. And in bringing gentle focus to things which we can control, we call back our power immediately. And what is it that we can control? We can simply control our own thought, our own emotion, our own action and intention. So choosing to lay focus on this, naturally your need to obsess over anything outside of yourself will fall away. It's a very natural falling away. The need to look over and obsess and to again and again go over to someone's profile, someone's their own personal life. They have their own personal space. Your divine counterpart has their own personal space, which must not be crossed, which must not be invaded, because you yourself would not like that crossing of that intimate space, wouldn't you? Right? So it is a very natural falling away of wanting to know what is happening over there. So you don't want to obsess over a certain person in the physical reality anymore, because you are choosing surrender. You are choosing to lay faith in divine, to lay faith in God, higher force, the universe, that everything is already on its way to you. That which is meant for you is already on its way, right? So there is no more mind that is asking you to check once, to go over and see what is happening, what is not happening, to gain certain information about this physical person in this physical reality. you're making better use of your energy and your sense of observation, right? You're putting it to positive use. So take this as an opportunity today to invite yourself, to open yourself up to the possibility of surrender, right? I'm only asking you today to choose this possibility. If you are already surrendering, you already know that it is one of the most beautiful things. You are already on the path. You have already started to experience lots of magical outcomes. You might be experiencing that the energy itself starts working in your favor, without even having to lift a finger. Many magical shifts are already starting to take place in your life. The synchronicities are getting wilder and wilder. If you have already started to surrender more, you are seeing many new opportunities flow in, many new offers coming in from all sides. And this is not a result of your mind manifesting, calling in certain things for yourself, but rather a natural outcome of the inner blossoming that is taking place. Ironically, letting go brings us everything that we want, but it is the awareness of the fact that we only attract who we are, not what we want, but we don't manifest from our conscious mind, but rather from our subconscious mind. We attract and magnetize that we are at a very fundamental level, right? So when a feminine woman surrenders, now I'm talking about the physical embodiment, okay? When a feminine woman surrenders, it does not mean that she's quitting or giving up. It means that she's giving up her need to control, the need to drive outcomes in a certain direction, right? And I would like to use the metaphor here, a beautiful one, that your heart, if you just put your hand on your heart right now, you're going to notice it beating, okay? And my question to you is, are you making it beat? Are you making your lungs filter the air in your body? Are you making your stomach digest its food manually? No, we are not. These organs, they are playing their part, they know their role, and it is all happening on its own, by itself. There is no intervention that is required right now, so it's all happening on its own, and the external reality is very similar to what is happening within. It's all happening on its own, right? There is a higher power that is in action already, right? So when the feminine, when she is in flow, things happen without any effort. It's all happening. Energy starts working in her favor. Magical shifts start taking place, right? So when you are aware of the fact that thoughts become things, you start allowing things, going more and more easier. Just observe in your daily routine, if there is any friction, if there is any resistance, something happens, someone tells you something negative, what is your reaction? Do you react or do you respond? That will tell you the amount of friction that you're carrying, right? And it will be there. I'm not saying that you are completely at peace at all times. Only a flat line on a monitor will show you that there is no life in this person, because there is peace at all times. It's impossible for that to happen. There's always the graph, the line will always go up and down on a monitor, showing you that there is a heartbeat, right? There is a rise and a trough. So there will be this coming and going, but what helps is the absence of friction, zero resistance to whatever life is bringing to you. You will only start to embrace it when you have a positive perspective towards it, when you're seeing things from a higher perspective, from soul perspective, right? So when you are experiencing your divine counterpart is running away from something, they might be blocking, or they might be unwilling to come forward and communicate, they are simply showing you parts within you that are still in resistance. So that is the area of our work, and today's session is simply paying attention to those parts, bringing the focus back to ourselves, and bringing the light of awareness towards these aspects which are asking for our attention. Right? So I hope this helped you. I love you so much. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys around.